Hi, I'm Josh Langhoff, Wrigley Field organist, and you're watching Around the Piano with Tim Paul at 216 Creator Studios.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Around the Piano podcast. We're going to introduce our very special guest in just a moment. But first, let's find out what Drew's been up to lately. Drew.
What's up, Tim?
Hey,
listen, always honored to be here with the legendary Tim Paul from Piano Trends. Listen, just so you know, Piano Trends.
Yeah.
If you're looking for, a piano, which isn't happening these days anymore, people are buying 2 or 3 at a time.
Exactly.
They like to stack them on top of
yeah.
each other like Legos.
It's tough to stay on top of it.
Hey, listen, if you want a piano for your house, ask Tim how we can make it look different. Do you want it to look like Gucci? We can do that. We are wrapping pianos, folks. Yep, that is right. You heard it here first. We are wrapping pianos. You want it to look steampunk. You want it to look any way you want it to look. If we can't do it, we will find the people that can do it for us. So,
exactly
Piano
right.
Trends, where can they find you, Tim?
35 Berkshire Drive, Crystal Lake, but you can go to pianotrends.com and you can get all the information and get in contact with us through the website at all times. You betcha.
That's right, pianotrends.com. Feel free to go to your old Google box there, click on the YouTube, 216 Creator Studios. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you ding that bell for future notifications. We do appreciate the support for Around the Piano. Tim, what do we got today, man? It looks like this beautiful young lady over there with a guitar. I'm excited because she can play the guitar. I can't play the guitar. So I always
love it. You can't play cowbell, Drew.
Well, I can. Well, I play the triangle. A hell of a triangle.
You do. Yeah.
I do.
As long as you only have one note, you're okay.
I was, first in state for 3 years in a row of the triangle. I don't even know if that's a thing, but it is now.
It is now.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. We'll print you up a certificate showing that proof.
Let's go ahead and bring Mackenzie in.
Hey, Mackenzie O'Brien of the Mackenzie O'Brien Band. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes,
sir. So the band has been around for a little while now, and you're a local gal because you've been around the area for quite a while. But
yes, born and raised in McHenry, Illinois.
Yeah. Say, go salute McHenry. I'll tell you.
Go Warriors.
Go Warriors. Yeah, exactly. So that's very cool because I know that you actually took lessons in the early days at one of our friendly competitors, the Piano Bench.
Yes, the Players Bench.
Players Bench, yeah. Yeah, I always do that to them, man.
Well, we're around a piano, so
yeah, exactly.
A lot of pianos.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Players Bench.
Yeah.
I loved it there.
Oh, they're good people.
Yeah.
Joe and I are good friends, and we were like Macy's and Gimbels, so we never really, never really competed against each other. We kind of did different things a little bit, but it was always good. But you've been doing a lot, especially in the last couple of years. Your band is taking off. You're playing a lot of places now, and you're going down to Nashville quite a bit too.
Yes.
So take us back a little bit. Just tell us the beginning, how this all transformed, how you knew this is what I want to do with my life.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think it starts with high school. And, when I was a upperclassman, a junior, that's when everybody sort of thinks about college.
Yeah.
And I had the hardest time with that. Like, people were taking those test scores and visiting campuses, and I had no idea what I wanted to do, or so I thought, because deep down, I knew I always wanted to do something in music. But I think I just sort of lied to myself because, a lot of teachers have said, and growing up as a creative type is just a little bit difficult. So if you say that you want to become a musician after high school, I know a lot of people looked at me funny, so I think I just
they usually ask, what are you going to do for your real job?
Exactly. And I even had somebody, like, I remember this is a long time ago, say, like, you should never become a musician, like, why would you ever want to do that? You won't make any money. You're going to be homeless, basically. And in high school, I just decided that I didn't care anymore, and I was going to follow my heart, as cheesy as it sounds. But I knew I just couldn't see myself doing anything else. So I finally got my parents on board. It was a little tricky at first because I'm the youngest of 3, so my older sister is like the smart one of the family. So she became a nurse, and then my brother had these sports scholarships.
Okay.
And then I was like, I want to be a professional banjo player at the time. I remember
At the
thinking
time,
that.
yeah.
And I also remember telling my guidance counselor that my senior year, and he gave me the funniest face. Like, he was just like, his jaw dropped when I told him that. And I don't know, I just decided to go for it. But I think it started because I picked up guitar, and I honestly felt like guitar was my only friend for a while. And then I picked up the banjo, and I wanted to be a banjo player. And then my guitar teacher at the player's bench told me, when he heard me sing for the first time, he was like, you should be a singer. And I just wanted to be like a musician on the side. Like, I'm a very shy person, so I was like, oh my gosh, I don't really see myself doing that.
Right.
But then he was really the one that pushed me to do these open mics in the area, and so we would kind of like travel around. I think my first one was in like, I don't even know, Island Lake or something. And so then I would do these open mics, and then I would get hired at coffee shops. And then I feel like I just never stopped, and it's been 8 years.
That's
Yeah.
fascinating. But you know what? We've had a lot of people on around the piano over this past year and a half. And
That's right.
We had. We always ask them, what's the advice you can give young people getting into the business? And in fact, David Freiberg of Jefferson Starship said, never let anybody tell you you can't do it.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, because once you accept that you can't do it, you're done.
Yeah.
And then you're going into some other profession. So yeah, you just keep at it. If you've got the heart and the passion for it, you do it. You just
Completely.
keep doing
Well,
it.
you know what's funny? You mentioned that someone told you you shouldn't do this. You'll never make money. I think the best words for that are haters are going to hate. Especially when
Haters
you
gonna
know if you have a talent or you have something that somebody else wishes they have, they're going to try to deflect because they, in their mind, feel like you're not allowed to be better than anything that they're doing. And so, as a confused young person, while you're treading water, they're like, hold this brick, right? And you said, not only will I hold this brick, but I'm still going to tread water, and I'm still going to persevere and move forward. So good for you.
Thank you so much.
Listen, it's not easy for you to be you, to go out there and be that starving artist for a second. And as an entrepreneur and a business coach myself, I can tell you, it's not easy. You second question yourself. There's moments where you're like, is this really what I want to do? Maybe I should just get a job. Maybe I should. And if you don't have too much supporting factors in there, and I love when you said, like, well, I finally got mom and dad aboard. I look over at dad. He's over here in the corner. And he's like, he's like, yeah, I'm here, aren't I? Which is great. So you have some support.
Yes.
But, the best support you can always give yourself is you. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. That's a huge accomplishment in itself. And most, 50, 60-year-olds, they don't know what they want to do for a living. They're still confused. You have an idea and a passion and a dream, and you're following it. God bless you. That's awesome.
Thank you so much. And I would say, like, to add on to the advice for young people, I would say, like, if people tell you you can't do something, use it as fuel
Yes.
to prove them wrong.
Right.
And-
I'm going to show you.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a question. What was one of the hurdles of getting to where you're at now?
Whew, I feel like the biggest hurdle is myself.
Oh, good answer.
Yeah. And like you said, your biggest support should be you. And it's hard when, I feel like a lot of artists are this way. Like, we're our biggest critiques
100%.
and stuff. Because there are so many times where I'm like, am I, like, delusional? Like, why am I still doing this? And I think I do believe that I am meant to do this, but it's really hard because of those internal things that I go through. And like a lot of stuff, like I'm a creative, so I feel like I create scenarios in my head. Like even when I'm on stage and people are enjoying it, and maybe I see one person not having a good time at my show, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally suck. Like, why am I
Instant
doing
failure.
this?
Yeah.
And then
You
I'll
start pointing to that one person.
Right.
Right.
Right. And like I feel like the negativity is so much easier to see than the positive. For me at least. And I would say that's the biggest hurdle, and I'm still working on that every single day.
Well, and an artist's artwork is never complete, ever. Right? So when you start something, like, when are we going to finish that? Never, because it's ongoing consistently. So as an artist, as you're doing what you're doing at songwriting, right? Is that song ever really done? Are you really happy with? You're your own worst critic. And then that could be the next top hit, the way it is right now.
Right.
But because you are a creative, as a creative myself, I can't do what you do. I have a different talent, right? But for what I do is the same thing. It's not good enough in my head, and therefore, why would I want to put that out there into the world? But you're one step better than I am, because you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to be playing here on this day. I'll be here on this day. I'll be here on this day. So that's awesome.
right.
That is man, what a great modest hurdle to even say online. That's great, because most people would never admit that. I love
Or
the
recognize it about themselves.
Yeah, I love the fact that you own the mirror, and that you go, hey, you know what? The only person that you can rely on, really and truly, and the only thing you can really change in this world is you. And so,
And I feel like my mom
Right, well-
and my dad too.
well, mom and dad are always going to play a good, important part, no matter
So
what.
true.
You know what I
So
mean?
true.
You're their girl, so it's going to be whatever it takes. They're gonna throw the world at it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and there's so many times where like my parents have to like talk me down and stuff and say like, oh my gosh, like, why are you so negative all the time? Like, just keep your head up and keep going. And if it wasn't for that like constant assurance, I don't even know if I'd still be doing this, to be honest with you. So, yeah.
Oh, kudos.
You've
It's a
got to have a
challenge.
good support group.
Yep.
Very true.
Yeah, very true.
True.
I've got one big important question, and then I want to ask you to play a tune for us.
Oh,
Look
sure.
at that. So this is going to be the most important question we ask.
Oh boy.
Okay. Buddy Holly, 1957. That's what I. You know that, right? Buddy
No,
Holly?
I don't.
Oh.
I'm so embarrassed.
Oh.
I'm so
Now I feel
embarrassed.
Dad does, though, right?
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Look up Buddy Holly, Old Boy, 1957.
Okay.
Not now. But
Okay.
Okay. So the important question:
Mm-hmm.
your dog.
Oh my goodness.
What kind of dog do you have? I think I saw a picture. It looks like kind of like a collie-like dog.
She
Did I see
kind of
it?
does look like
Yeah.
that. Also, yes, I do agree. The most important question, my dog.
Right.
She's like the love of my life, but she's a mutt, so she's mostly Chihuahua. And yeah, she gets like very like barky and stuff, but I think she's mostly Chihuahua and then Papillon and Poodle.
Nice.
So she's a little thing.
Well, the reason I ask, because we're dog lovers. Actually, we have cat and dog at home, but we bring our collie Emma to the store at least one day a week. She's kind of a store dog, one or 2 days a week. So
That's so
yeah,
cute.
so it's we're always interested. That's a question we're gonna ask from now on, Drew, in the future. What kind of dog do you have at home?
What if they said they had a monkey? I don't know. How would
Well,
that work out?
there are a
Wow.
few people we've interviewed that might have had a monkey. It's
Tennessee, you can have one as a pet.
I
don't live in Tennessee yet.
Yeah.
But you can see that in my future for sure.
Okay.
Just
Very interesting.
so you guys know, it is raining out. outside, and it looks like we had a hiccup, which ended recording, and it's back recording now. So if you missed anything, it would be the end of the dog conversation, just to let you know.
The end of the dog conversation. Okay, well, we can come back to the dog conversation. We probably missed the whole story about the otters, too. Now you people are going to
I
really...
know, otters. You know, who wants to relive that? I mean,
They're so cute.
Well, better to have hiccuped and gone out during that rather
Correct.
than when Mackenzie's going to play a little
I
tune
know.
for us,
Oh,
right?
I gotcha. Okay. So this is the new original, and
Going to be on the new album?
I'm not
Not
sure.
sure yet?
I'm not
Okay.
sure. I'm so undecided. It takes me forever to like make decisions, but this is called Still a Girl. I live in a fun house, mirror just light, making me older than I feel inside. The stress is just dressed up like the makeup I wear. Men say I'm grown up, so do their stares. I might play the part down in my heart, I swear that I'm still a girl, so new to the world. I'm just figuring out this thing they call life. As much as I try, I'm still awkward and shy, hoping to cover the fear in your eyes. Everyone's gonna find out any moment that I'm still a girl. Still need my mom like I'm 12 years old. Mean girls are mean, I cry on the phone. I could tell through her smile she's trying not to mess up. She's doing her best, that makes two of us. The voice in her head sounds just like mine does. That I'm still a girl, so new to the world. I'm just figuring out this thing they call life. As much as I try, I'm still awkward and shy, hoping to cover the fear in their eyes. Everyone's gonna find out any moment that I'm still a girl. That I'm still a girl.
Oh, it's beautiful.
wow. That was amazing.
Thank you so much. I'm glad I remember the lyrics because I was worried about that.
Well,
You did.
I mean, listen, even if you didn't know the lyrics, it was still beautiful.
So that's a
Dan's gotta
brand
be
new.
Really proud. That is a phenomenal talent that you carry. Your voice is awesome.
Oh, thank
played
you so
very well.
much. Thank you.
I'm honored to actually have heard that here live.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
I think-
Thank you.
I think the tough part is there's about 20 to 30 songs that are great, and only a few are going to make the album.
Right.
Well, I think
future
that's,
albums.
that's kind of like the way it is, though, with a lot of artists too. And then once the awareness kind of kicks in, people start searching those other ones down. You know, have you ever heard of a band called Liquid Soul?
Sounds familiar.
So they are a fusion jazz, instrumental hip hop, DJ, keyboard, drums, rapper, you name it. It's a fusion, right?
That's so cool.
When I was younger, in my 20s, I heard these guys live, and I fell in love, and then I got their music, and then now years have passed, and this just happened recently. I was like, what was the name of that band? And then figured, oh yeah, Liquid Soul, and I looked them up, and they're still thriving, but they had a ton of infamous songs that didn't really make big charts, but they put it on the internet that are now getting massive downloads because they've gotten awareness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's I think that's the same thing that kind of rides along with that. Yeah. Thanks for playing today. That's fantastic.
Of course.
That's good.
Thanks
So
for
that's a
letting me
brand
play.
new song?
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
this was a premiere, worldwide premiere of the song today?
It was.
Yeah. Awesome. We are honored. Very nice.
Thank you.
Now, I also noticed, talking about songwriting, I've got notes here that say you've been working with some Grammy-winning and nominated songwriters yourself. So you've worked with them. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my goodness. So at first, it's definitely a learning curve going into a writer's room. At first, I was super intimidated, and I would honestly, get panic attacks before that, because, the imposter syndrome sinks in,
Sure.
and I'm like, oh my goodness, why am I in this room right now? And then eventually, I feel like the more I kept getting booked with those people, the more I just realized they're people just like me, and they see something in me, and they just want to do their best.
Sure.
I'm just trying to do my best. And so then eventually I finally, got over that whole fear thing, and it's been really, really fun. Something that scared me so much before, and now I can go into a room and be like, okay, this is
It's okay now.
It's okay, and I'm so glad that I get to be able to do this.
Now, I assume this is down in Nashville where this occurred?
Yes, down in Nashville. And then I feel like I'm always just driving around different writers' rooms in Nashville, and it's just so cool. So I write at a place called The Basement. It's like a music venue, and there's 6 flights of stairs I have to climb to get to a writer's room, and I just be so out of breath. But I write a lot there. I'm just glad to have a space. And then sometimes I'll go to producers' houses
Right.
or stuff like that. Yeah.
Very cool. That's very cool. Now, I also noticed that you've been opening for a list of some A-listers out there, too. Tell us about some of the people
Yes.
that you've been the opening act for.
Oh my goodness. So the first one was Chris Jansen, and that was during COVID. So that was a really strange time. And it was a drive-in movie theater concert. So everybody was in their cars, and I went out on stage, and I didn't see people. I just saw headlights, and I was like, wow, this is really weird. But it was super fun,
Yeah.
and Chris Jansen, so entertaining. And then I've opened for Parker McCollum at Joe's on Weed in Chicago. And that was one of the best shows I think we've ever had. It was just...
Yeah, these are all wonderful people. Tell us a little bit about your band. Do you have have you had the same band together all this time that you've been doing it, or has it kind of evolved a little bit?
It's evolved a little
Yeah.
bit, but I have had the same guitarist since the beginning,
Okay.
the very beginning. I think we've been working together for, probably close to a decade now.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I used to have, my bass player used to be my ex-boyfriend, and then we broke up, and then he asked me if he was still in the band, and I said, unfortunately, no.
No.
So I had to find a new bass player, and met him through a mutual friend, and he's just been great. He's a really good singer too, so I feel like it adds to the music. And then we have had so many drummers. I feel like I've worked with 50, but that's an exaggeration. But we just have a core group of drummers that we switch
that
off.
you switch off with.
Yes.
Well, if you need a triangle player, we've got one right
Oh,
here.
yeah.
He's always,
I think we do.
Yes.
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 He's always ready for
I don't know if you
Perfect.
can afford me, Tim, but we could get a contract going
You are one of the more expensive triangle players around.
I know.
All right, fine. We could put the band name in your name now.
There
We
you
can
go.
change it.
Yeah, you say,
Now let me take my glass off because now we're talking. Right?
Now you've got I don't want to say an unusual nickname, but you've got a kind of a cool nickname. My wife's favorite bird in the world is a hummingbird.
Really?
But I understand that's your nickname,
Yes.
and that you wrote a song called Hummingbird, which we're going to play at the end of the podcast as our outgo today. So stay tuned and watch to the very end, because if you haven't seen or heard this song, it's a beautiful song. It's a great song. So tell us how that came about and how you. Well, first of all, who gave you the nickname Hummingbird?
So he's actually in the room with us.
Ah.
My dad gave me that nickname. Hi, Dad. So when I was a little girl, I was always off on my own, like playing with my Barbie dolls. And I think my parents would hear me in there, like behind the closed door.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, why is she like humming? Like when I was playing with my dolls and stuff, I would subconsciously start humming. And like I wouldn't notice it, but everyone else would. So then he just started calling me Hummingbird. And then I was like, okay, well, I love music. Then I embraced it. Now I have 2 hummingbird tattoos, and I have a song called Hummingbird, so.
That's fantastic. That's cool.
Thank you.
Now, the Hummingbird song, though, what, if you can, tell us a little bit about the lyrics of Hummingbird. So what's the kind of a little background on the story, the actual song of Hummingbird. What are the lyrics? What's the story you're telling in Hummingbird?
So I wrote that with a good friend, Jessica Searles, in Nashville, and I can't remember how long ago I wrote it. It was a couple years now, but it's sort of like a biography about my life and my musical journey, and then just like hoping for the future to come. Like the chorus is like, I'll be there someday, packed house, my own stage, even though right now, like, I basically said, like, I'm stuck in the Midwest, like, cornfield grounds to Nashville crowds, but, like, I do love being here and stuff, but it's sort of about the journey and then hoping for what's to come.
That's fantastic. That's great news. Now, you're also, if people want to hear your music, they can go to all the normal channels. They can go to Spotify and YouTube and Instagram, and they can follow you. Dude, do we have that QR code we could pop up there for a minute there?
But you know what? First and foremost, and I
Yeah.
think what we're going to try to do here is set this up. We got knocked off one more time from weather.
Little
and I've
tackles.
been working hard over here to keep us up and running. Give me 1 second here,
You take your
I'll
time.
set up a present. I want to show her. There we go. Let's go right to the website, shall we? And so, use your website, correct? I am at the right place?
Yes.
Okay. And so, listen, there's videos, there's things about, they got news on there. Check it out, folks. And let's pop that banner up one more time. And so you're aware, Mackenzie, I've been popping this up, so people can kind of see where to go and find you. Just to give you a little marketing there. But yeah, I think that we have a QR as well that goes to share this one instead. Listen, folks, pull out the old phone there, hit the camera, hold that up, look for the surprise. It's going to take you right to the end of the rainbow with Mackenzie. Where is this going to take them, Mackenzie?
This will take you to our link tree, which has access to all of our social media. So our Instagram, Facebook, my TikTok, which I post really weird videos on there. So just I'm just like such a dork on there.
You're just like, I'm forewarning people. That's the best way to lead them there. There's some weird things there you might not.
I mean, it's just me like rambling in my room. So yeah,
That's
it's
all right.
that, and then our website where you can see where we're playing.
That's awesome. Yeah, folks, scan that up. And one more time, if you want to check out our website, is there a way to that link tree through the website as well? Or no?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, got thumbs up from that. That means yes. All right. Good to go. What else you got, Tim?
All right. I want to hear what your your plans for the future are, the immediate future and the long, I think I know what your long-term future is. You want to be on that big stage with a packed house. But what's coming up in the near future? What is, for instance, what are some of the event dates that you have coming up? Where are you going to be? Where can people go and see you live?
So this Saturday we will be at the Tin Roof in Wrigleyville. So we used to play there after Cubs games, but I don't think they're in season right now.
Not in season right now.
So we play in the city a lot. So we basically bounce between Tin Roof and the Barstools, some other clubs around the area, and then we do go into Madison, Wisconsin a few times as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe out in
Excellent.
Rockford.
We'll be in Rockford doing the Hard Rock Casino there, and then I believe we're in Oswego pretty soon for Nash Vegas.
Okay.
So just
So you got a lot of good dates coming up.
Yes.
Nash Vegas. What a great mashup word that is.
honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people call Broadway Nash Vegas.
Right?
Yeah, it's got the vibe.
That's
Got
cool.
the vibe,
Very cool.
yeah.
Now you've got the new album we just touched briefly on. You're going to be recording a new album that's due out in March of next year in 25?
I believe so. It's still tentative, but
Yeah.
I am gonna go into the studio in February,
Okay.
which is really exciting. And I feel like it's sort of a branding change in a way.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of the stuff that I've written was me during the time being, but I've evolved a little bit, and it will be a little bit heavier, I'd say, and more rock influence. And I think the lane we're trying to do is Southern rock.
Okay.
primarily.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, I'm excited. Well, I sing a lot of Southern rock stuff in my sets. So, like, I'll do, like, a Styx cover. Sometimes I'll do, like, a Pat Benatar. I love singing Blondie. And then I just realized I really like singing this. And I would just take it to my co-writers, and I'd be like, let's write something, because, you know, I love singing in that genre, so.
Well, that'd be great. So you'll come back with us sometime in the spring, and we'll talk about that. How about
Yeah.
that?
I would love
That'd
a
be
follow-up.
awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And you have your producer.
Yeah, I picked out a producer, and you know, I think it's good for artists to work with different producers because each of them bring something so different to the table. And so his name is Brett Boyette, and he's just got a really good track record. He produced all the songs for the movie My Girl. It was like this
Nice.
movie that came out a couple years ago, and he's just landed so many songs on TV shows. So I'm just really excited to work with him.
That should be exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like a good time coming up in the spring.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
excellent.
excited.
What else? Is there anything else that you want people out there to know about Mackenzie O'Brien?
I feel like, you know, I basically have like a split personality. If I would tell anybody anything, is like when I'm on stage, I almost feel like a completely different person to when I'm just at home. Like
Yeah.
I'm so dorky, and I just sit at home and I watch Hallmark movies. And then when I'm on stage, I feel like such a rock star, and I just couldn't be more different from my stage persona.
Well, I mean, listen, every Bruce Wayne, there's a Batman.
Yeah,
You know
yes,
what I mean?
call me Bruce Wayne.
That's awesome.
Minus the money.
You know, you say that you're shy. I have not seen one shy thing about you in front of that microphone right in front of
Thank you.
So I think that's all probably up here a little bit.
Yeah, probably.
But that's cool. Your comfort level's at home, obviously, right? And you know, and I'm reading through some bio here, and it shows that Daredevil Productions,
Yes.
right? Are you still currently with Daredevil Productions?
Yes.
In partnership?
Oh my gosh.
Tell us
love
a little
that.
bit about that.
So, actually, it's kind of funny. So, the head of Daredevil Productions is a guy named Johnny Dwinell, and I met him through a mutual friend in Nashville, and he's living in Nashville, and so I was like opening for Parker McCollum. It was coming up in a couple days, and I reached out to Johnny with Daredevil, and I was like, this is before we even worked together. I was like, can you please give me some performance tips? Because I've never opened for a star before. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. I get on the phone with him, and he tells me he's from Delavan, Wisconsin. And I was like, wait, what? That's like a half hour away from my house. Anyways, he gives me really good tips. I followed his lead. he flies out to the Parker McCollum show, and he sees it, and he sees that I followed everything that he did, and he was like, oh my gosh, that girl has some guts. When really I was like really happy to have something to follow and stuff.
Right.
I think he really saw something in me, because we really did take over the show, like, not the show, but like the crowd, like when we were up there on stage. And so he was on board, which I was really happy about, and he has been the one behind like setting me up with these writers and these producers. So he's been amazing.
That's awesome. You know, 9 times, and Tim and I have talked about this, you know, not all the time is it about the how, it's about the who.
Yeah.
And, you know, you found a good who that knows the how, you know, and if you come across that right network, it's sky's the limit. So congratulations to that. That's fantastic.
Well, that follows suit with when we sat, actually how we came across the title Around the Piano. We sat around a table with Thomas Claxton and his buddies, who we didn't know who they were when we sat at the table with them. But Drew was there, and our jaws dropped.
Carmine Rojas, Eddie Martinez.
Eddie Martinez.
Scotty Page from Pink Floyd. I mean, listen, there's some big hitters there, and they were so humble, and they were eating lunch, and we were like, hey, we just wanted to get this interview, and I was like, who is this guy, Claxton, who wants to, he didn't show up at the Marriott, or no, he was at the Marriott, he didn't show up at the Hilton. I'm like, who is this guy where we have to come to him, you know? And I get there, and I'm like, that's who he is.
Exactly.
You know? I'm like, I am honored. Let me bow down. What a great. We met some Motown guys there. We met. I mean, it was great. NAMA's a great place to be at when you really want to reach out and find some good resources as well.
And the connections that you can make there,
100%.
because you're sharing. You're doing the same thing that all these other people are doing there. So you're able to share your experiences with their experiences, and everybody learns from each other.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's so
That's
true.
right.
That's so
And
true.
and then a lot of them have, you know, just that, a lot of experience. You know, they've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And even though the world's changed, and in most of them, when we interview them, we're like, well, what would you say for the struggles of artists today? And they're like, well, that's hard to do because it's a different struggle. You know,
Right.
and you know, so the new question is like, what do you think about Pro Tools? You know, are you that person? Is it still being original? And some of them are like, yes, I would take that all day, because art is art, and what people love, and I can vouch for that.
Exactly.
But you know what? I'll why don't you tag Thomas?
We'll do
with
that.
this
Yeah,
with this
for
video
sure.
when it's released. That way he can see who you are, which is pretty cool, because he's doing the same thing right now. He's touring around.
Yeah, he's touring around right now too, and we're hoping to bring him to the Rouse Center sometime next year as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it should be fun.
It should be a lot of fun if we do that. So, this has been a real blast.
Thank you
having
so much
here
for having
today.
me.
Yeah, well, hopefully that you'll come back and spend some more time with us in the future, because after all, you're just up the road in Mackenzie.
Just down the road.
Yeah. So, the best of luck to you. I think you've got a great start here, and I think you've got a wonderful opportunity for a great career headed your way. So
Thank you.
best of luck. And want to thank everybody else for watching in tonight on Around the Piano podcast. And remember to smile, be kind, and keep on keeping on. Mackenzie O'Brien, we're going to go out now, and we're going to listen to your music. And what tune are we listening to here? Is it the actual Hummingbird?
Yes, Hummingbird.
Hummingbird.
So I'm bringing that up as we speak. A little bit of technical difficulties since I don't know what's happening here.
Well, we've had the technical problems with the weather today.
Yeah,
We've been
for
bumped
sure.
out twice there.
All right, I think I got her in here. All right.
All right, goodbye, everybody. Thank you, Mackenzie.
Bye. Thanks. I was just always a shy kid, going off on my own and humming and making up my own melodies. So I guess that's why they call me Hummingbird.
They call me Hummingbird, for I said a word, that's no surprise. all night. They're back again, 2 bottles in. Matt and Marie, my biggest fans, drop a 20 in. That velvet hat of green. Don't you worry about me, 'cause I'll be there someday. Packed house, mound stage. From coin to ground, still Nashville crowds. Everyone screaming out my name. Someday I'm gonna do it my way, and I'll pay the tab for mom and dad. During country, it's in my breaks. Before I get to that day, oh, I just get to bed. Yeah, before her breaks were going out, Hilda and me would ride around this nowhere town. CDs on repeat, and every day's a winding road. As she will grow, or better yet, I'll ask her when we'll have on CMT. And don't you worry about me, 'cause I'll be there someday. Packed house, mound stage. From coin to ground, still Nashville crowds. Everyone screaming out my name. Someday I'm gonna do it my way, and I'll pay the tab for mom and dad. During country, it's in my breaks. Before I get to that day, oh, I just get to bed. Yeah, someday I'm gonna do it my way. I'll pay the tab for my